Bonjour mes amis, hi guys, Monday morning and another start of the week, feeling kinda tired, and I got Seiko Samurai Pepsi style on the wrist. And it's really such a gorgeous watch. Although I'm selling quite a few things and a few Seikos, this one is definitely staying. I think every element of the design is really well done, it's very original, especially the case. But I like that thin bezel. As you can see, the hard legs doesn't protrude outside, so if you hit the watch, there's a good chance that the hard legs will be protected. Unlike the bezel insert, which you can see has a little ding here on top at the 57th minute. It aligns perfectly. Great design of the hands, all of old-fashioned in steel. I like the hour pointer, the sword hand that gives the name, the samurai, to the watch. Great choice for the indices as well. The date is also nicely done. I mean, there's just everything. The crown guard are very cool in their shape, sort of triangle shape, and the big knurling on the big crown, which is, I think it's the same knurling as on the around the bezel. Really is, I think, a stunner if you have the wrist for it. And they're kind of squarish. So my wrist is 17 centimeters, 6 inches and 3/4, I think. It's not that big because you see that there's hardly any lug to it. And this is the standard Seiko silicone strap. Silicone is great. It doesn't give you allergies. Only thing that can happen is that the strap could flop out, but I slept all night with the watch. Great loom, of course, and had no problem. Nothing came out. So this one is nice and tight. Big buckle. This is the largest strap, so it's a 22 millimeter at the lug width. It's rare to have a bit of a calm. Check this out, some rundown houses and a still active temple here, not far from my house. It's rare to have a bit of quiet in Hong Kong, otherwise it's all cars and everything. And so back to the Samurai. If I had to choose just one Seiko diver, I think that would be the one in this colorway. I know they do other ones, but I really like how they nail everything, including the rehaut. With every second has a mark on the rehaut. I love the loom there, the red paint on the second's hand, tying up with the bezel color. It's really incredibly well done. It's not heavy at all, especially since it's on a silicone strap, and good balance to it. It doesn't flop about. It's not top heavy, and like the looks might suggest. You know, this is a watch that, say, if Blancpain was coming up with a design like this, an original design like this, it would cost 12 grand, you know. And here you have the 4-arm movement, which I like for a couple of reasons. First, it's very accurate, at least so far. Yeah, obviously it's not a high horology, it's not COSC certified and whatnot, but it always performs very accurately. What I like is to set the time, you turn the crown upwards. To me, it's a more natural motion than the downward motion you need to use for the ETA 2824s. And I like that the gearing makes it such that it's very fast to set the time. You can go around the whole dial in 5 seconds. It's really quick. And also it's very precise. When you set the time, the minute hand doesn't move. There's no backlash. I mean, even on very high-end watches, Rolex, you still have a bit of play, especially with the Omega. Depends a bit on what movement base there is. But even with the current coaxial, there's a bit of play on my Aquaterra. And if you have a base That is the value 7750 or 53. Then you have to move your minute hand 10 minutes ahead of the time you want to set, and then move it back, and then you will avoid any movement on the minutes hand. It's little things you gotta know. But no such problem with the Seiko. For the 6R and the 4R, don't have any such problem. And I think the 6R15 is supposed to be a bit more high-end, but I've got a great experience with the movement in the Samurai and the other watches that I have with the 4R movement. So I can totally recommend it. So really a watch that you cannot fault. It has great presence on the wrist, a bit like a Panerai with that squarish shape. So here we go. I've just dropped off my boy at his bus, going back home, take a shower, and then drop off my little girl at her school. It's crazy hot here, humidity is like 80%. And I'm half sick, I've got a bit of fever, just gotta go through it. There's no stopping in Hong Kong. Lots of work to do at the office, and I've got 2 or 3 pretty cool videos for you. Again, a new Rolex coming in. As you can see, I still enjoy my Seikos when they're done well. Alright, speak later. Have a good week.